Hey guys, what's up? This is Herobrine_15, and in today's video, I'm gonna be saying the word Herobrine 300 times to celebrate hitting 300 subscribers. So, let's just get right into it. Let's get started. Herobrine, 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 Herobrine. We're past 50 now. Herobrine, 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 Herobrine. Now that's 100 times. Now all I need is to do that 2 more times. Okay. Herobrine, Herobrine. Mr. Beast probably would not be able to do this, by the way, guys. Herobrine, 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 Herobrine. Oh, and please consider subscribing if you're new here, because that'd be so epic going through all this pain for you guys. Herobrine, 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 Herobrine. This is actually harder than it looks, guys, by the way. Herobrine, 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 Herobrine. Now that's 200 times. Only 100 more times. And now the phone is ringing. Perfect timing, guys. And let's just wait for it to stop ringing. Okay. Herobrine. 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 Please subscribe. Herobrine. 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 And there, I've said it 300 times now. You have to subscribe. If you don't, then why did you even watch this whole video? But seriously, guys, I can't thank you enough for 300 subscribers. It would have been impossible to reach this milestone without all of your guys' support. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos. And our next goal is gonna be to get 320 subscribers. I don't know what I'm gonna do then. You know, at that I'll just do a video. I will build a giant pig in Minecraft. Yeah, for 320 subscribers if we can get there. And I will give it to Redfire Rex. Yeah. Subscribe and like.